What's up, everybody? Welcome to the
Turn me up now. Now we unmuted. I'm about to be one of the best to ever do it. Simp 7 in the building, you already knew it. Roll on my sleeve, so let's get to it. I'm walking with my purpose, I'm walking in my vision. So that means I'm just a man on this mission. I'm just a comedian that happen beats Christian. So let that beat drop, give them what they missing. Yeah. Now we unmuted. Now we unmuted.
Everybody, I'm your host, Simp 7, aka Scott Simpkins, and you already know that's the government name. I got an exciting show for you today. Listen, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this page for all the content that we put out. We're working so hard. I got a good one in here today. This is called Girl Power because I have a wonderful young woman on this side of me right here. She is the owner, say it again, the owner of a semi-pro basketball team called the Lakeland Royals, and I have none other than Miss Amy Rhodes right here. Y'all make some noise, y'all. Y'all, come on, y'all give us some love. Make some noise, y'all. Clap your hands, say something to her. What's up, Amy? How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I am doing great. It's good to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Most damn. I had to get this one out of here. So let's start from the top. Where were you born, and what was it about basketball in that city that made you want to be an owner?
Oh boy, you want to know everything, huh?
Oh yeah, I want to know everything from the root to the boot.
So, I was born in Lafayette, Indiana, and if you know anything about Indiana, that is basketball country.
Yes.
So, naturally, growing up, I really grew up everywhere. My dad's a pastor and a Marine, so we moved around everywhere. So I bounced back between Florida and Indiana multiple times. But just being in Indiana, really, you get around that culture, you get around being around basketball all the time, literally all the time. Basketball season goes crazy. Like I know in Florida, y'all got football season. Y'all love football. Y'all go
Oh yeah. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys.
Basketball up north? No. Hands down. Anybody from Indiana could come down to Florida and school everybody. I promise you.
Oh no, time out. So wait a minute. You started off this whole interview all wrong. You saying anybody from Indiana. I know y'all got your Larry Birds and all that stuff from Indiana. I know you got your Bobby Knights and all like that and good. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Knight, got to give it up to Coach Bobby Knight. Go and pay some homage to him before you throw a chat at me. You know what I'm saying? But roll the tape, roll the footage, please. Roll the footage. But yeah, you can't just say that anybody can come from Indiana and beat somebody here from Florida. We got the great Rashard Anderson right here from Florida.
That's
3 point shooter at UConn. Still to this day. All right, don't let me call my boy up now. I'll put him on you.
Call him up.
I call him up. But you saw basketball in Indiana like never before, and you're absolutely right. That state is basketball heaven for sure. Basketball heaven. So when you saw basketball in that capacity, what did it do to your spirit?
I really just wanted to do it. I was a multi-sport athlete. I grew up playing soccer, started with soccer, transitioned to volleyball, then picked up basketball. At the same time I picked up volleyball, played softball. So I really did it all. Just basketball was one of my favorite sports to play. There's nothing like getting a fast break and being able to run down the court and score on the other team and everybody go crazy because you scored. Like those are just some of the moments of being an athlete in basketball that you cherish, or times in the locker room with your team right before the game when y'all getting hyped. Like those are the things about basketball that make you want to continue doing it.
Right. Okay. So did you play basketball in high school or college?
I played basketball in high school. I played all the way up to my senior year. And I had a lot of scholarship offers for both basketball and volleyball. I got offered to sign with Team USA for volleyball. But unfortunately, I got injured.
Oh, the big eye. Jeez.
Yeah. And Team USA no longer wanted to honor our contract. And I just kind of knew at that moment, as an athlete, sports were done. And everybody has their first love in high school. Well, I didn't date in high school. My first love was sports. So
Really?
I was dedicated to a game.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But you did say something kind of earlier that said your dad is a pastor. I think because of dad's strict rules, you didn't date, not because of sports. I'm just
No,
saying.
no, no, no,
No,
no. I'm
no,
the
oh, that wasn't
youngest.
it. Okay,
I am the youngest, so hey, he already done got that out with the other three.
uh-huh.
So I'm
Okay,
good.
all
I'm
right,
good to
okay,
go. I'm good to go.
okay.
But I didn't want to lose my focus on what my goal was, and my goal was to become a pro athlete. So I focused on getting up in the mornings, working out, going for a run, going to school, after school, go to practice, at a practice, go to the gym, put up some shots, things like that. That's what I constantly did. And my dad played a big role in that because my dad would actually go with me at the end of practice. He would go with me to the gym. He would go with me to put up shots, things like that. And my dad actually played basketball in college. His team made it to the NCAA Final Four, if I'm remembering correctly. So I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
just kind of it got passed down. So my dad had a love for it. He passed it down to me, and me and him, we constantly trained. There were days after games where I was so upset about the shots that I missed and the plays that I misran, that me and my dad would spend hours after a game till 12 o'clock at night running back through those plays, going back over those shots, and I would not go to sleep, not even take off my game uniform until I got those shots correct, till I got the play right.
Wow. Well, that sounds like somebody that I know, and we lost him in the year 2020. The great Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
Mamba mentality.
Mm-hmm.
That man practiced before anybody else did. He was the last to leave, and he stayed there until he was satisfied with everything that he put up.
As a leader of a team, it's also your responsibility to elevate the rest of the guys. You have to get them emotionally to want to be better. You have to get them to an emotional space where they wake up every morning driven to be the best version of themselves. And in practice, for me, it was a chance to drive them, to challenge them. And this is where you have to know your teammates. Because if it's late, you just had a back-to-back and you had practice the next day and you show up, and guys don't feel like going through the motions, don't feel like practicing. It's important to know each and every one of them individually, personally, because then you know what nerve to touch. And if practice is more intense and harder than a game 7 will be, then a game 7 will be easy.
Rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to, because at the end of the day, your only competition is yourself. It doesn't matter who comes out on that floor, because you're not going to be upset that you didn't score on number 8. You're not going to be upset that you didn't score on number 12. You're going to be upset with yourself because you didn't play to the capabilities that you know you are able to.
Yeah, absolutely right. So, I mean, going back to high school, you was a pretty decent player. I mean, looking at your stat line and looking at all the scholarships that you had and having an injury like you did, how did you feel on the inside? Because, I mean, it's everybody's dream that is a baller to go to college and to possibly get to the NBA or the WNBA. Shout out to my WNBA women out there. I love y'all. Forget what everybody else is saying. But you want to get there, and or the Olympics, you know, and to have something like that to happen and to know in your mind that my career is completely over, how does that feel?
Man, it was rough. So I went down on a softball field. I made contact with another player and we collided and hit wrong. And I ended up dislocating my knee and my patella, and I ended up completely tearing my ACL, MCL, MPFL, and my meniscus. I had 28 hairline fractures and 26 bruises. And so just laying there on the field, waiting for these people to come get me. Yes, I was in pain, but more so my heart was hurting because I knew, like, just something in my spirit told me, you're done as an athlete. And like my heart was broken. I was devastated. I lost everything. I lost my scholarship offers. I lost my contract with Team USA. For me at that time, in that moment, I felt like I don't have a plan B. I only had plan A, and I was going for plan A. There was no plan B for me.
And this was what the year of 2017?
Yeah. On the cusp of going into 2018. Yeah.
This is the time when you got all the medicine that you can rehabilitate that knee. So that injury had to be very, very catastrophic in order for you not to be able to rehabilitate and get back out there. Because we seen how Rhodes' body broke down.
Yeah, no, it was rough. I had to go because there was so much damage. I had to go 2 back-to-back knee surgeries. I had to do the first surgery, go through the recovery of that, and after the recovery, go through the second surgery. So I spent 2 years surgery and recovery, and I had to learn to re-walk with my left leg, just because of how much they had to go in and do. Um, and so for me, it was like sitting there, like, when you're at the beach, right? And you're
Right.
sitting there, you're watching the water come up. And like when you accidentally drop something, and then the water comes up and it just takes it out and it's like, bye bye. That's how
Yeah.
I felt. I felt like everything that I had worked so hard for, that I had sacrificed countless of hours of hanging out with friends or going to this event, going to that event. I spent countless of hours focusing on what I wanted, having it all, and then watching the water come up and just take it right back out. So it was, I would say that was the first time I had ever experienced true depression. Like,
Yeah.
I was not a depressed person. Anybody will tell you I am always amped, excited, ready to go about anything. I will be your hype man, your hype woman, whatever the case may be. You need me, I got you, kind of thing. And so in that, it was the first moment that I was really, truly, honestly depressed because I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't have no type of plan. Um, I knew I was done as an athlete, and that was my first love. That was all I knew. That was really what I built my identity around. And I know that's, like, saying that now is kind of hard for me because as a pastor's kid, growing up in church, they teach you to develop your identity in Christ. But
Right.
I was really putting sports first before that. And I really felt like that whole incident was God showing me what's up. And so in those moments that I was reflecting, like, I had a lot of God moments per se. And I had a lot of questioning moments. I wasn't mad at God, but I was questioning for sure. I remember my mom, she would come in the mornings. She's a teacher. So she would come in the mornings, get me up because obviously I couldn't do it myself.
Right.
Um, she would get me up, help me get dressed, whatnot. And I remember she came in there one morning and I was just in tears. I mean, just laying there in tears. And she was like, "What's wrong? Do you need like medicine? Is your leg bothering you?" I said, "No, mom, I just don't understand how a God who's supposed to love me can watch me go through something like this and not step in and intervene." And like, as a mom, I don't know how she felt. I mean, what are you supposed to say to somebody in that moment? And the only thing she said, "I don't know what else to say other than you just got to trust the process." And I was like, really, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't want to hear that. I want answers. I want answers of why did this happen to me and why me? Why me of all people?
Well, I mean, from hearing how it happened, you guys ran into each other. So I don't know what God was supposed to do, like move the other player out the way miraculously or angel push him.
Yes, yes.
Okay, but I'm just saying. Oh, we be blaming God for all of it, man. Like, God, why you do that? Like, you ran in front of him. What was I supposed to do? Like, but I understand exactly how you feel with that. A lot of us go through those moments of the why and the, why me, why the situation and this, that, but it's all a plan. So
Right.
that plan actually have you doing something that I was very surprised to hear when you stepped up on stage and you said you were the owner of a semi-pro basketball team. How did that come about?
Yeah. So after all that, I knew I wasn't done with sports. I knew I wanted to be in sports. And during really the COVID era, I was
Shout out to Kobe.
everybody was in the house, you know what I mean? And I was
Everybody.
like, I want to use this time to be productive. And I said, God, I know you're not done with me. We already went through all this the past 2 years. What's up? What do you have for me? And prior to the year before, I got into coaching. I got my first coaching opportunity right after my second surgery. I was like, okay, let's go. I was coaching girls middle school and high school volleyball.
Okay.
And so then God really birthed this idea of wanting to own my own training facility. And it would be for everybody, not just basketball, not just volleyball. It'd be for football on the facility. There'd be a whole football dome where players could come, work out, train, whatnot. If it was raining outside, one of the games need to be moved. Okay, cool. Y'all can come to my facility, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
something like
And
how the
so,
Dallas Cowboys got theirs.
Yeah. So,
Shout out to
so,
Jerry Jones, baby. Boom.
so, that's where it started. But then I started going to some of my homeboys' basketball games, and they were in the Florida Basketball Association, which is the FBA.
Mhm.
And I started going to their games, and I caught myself. I was sitting there with my best friend, and we were both looking at each other like, no, just no. Like, if I had my own team, it would not operate like this. Or if I was the coach, they would not be running this play. And I was very critical, not about the coaches or whatnot, but critical as in a sense that if I had something, I could do better. And I knew those owners of the other team were not about to give me an opportunity to coach their team. So I said, I'm going to go a step above that, and I'm going to own my own team. So one of the games, the owner of the FBA, Mr. Mark King, he was out there. And so I was on crutches at the time, and I walked up to him and I said, excuse me? He said, yes. I said, I just wanted to know, what do I need to do to own a basketball team? And he said, well, first off, are you serious? And I said, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, well, give me your information. I'll get it to you. And Mark will even tell you this himself. He did not take me serious. He did not think I was being like real with him at all. Like, he just sees this little girl walk up to him, ask him about a basketball team. I was only 20 years old. Yeah, I was 20 years old. And I was like, I'm all in. So he sent me the paperwork. I came back the next game, which was the next week. I filled out all the paperwork, had the name, the colors, everything, and a check written out, and I handed it to him. And I said, okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, come.
Timeout, flag on the play, offsides, pushing, encroachment, defense. You said you got information, you had it filled out in a week, and you wrote a check. Oh, you know what? No, this is a podcast. People need to know, how much does it cost to own a semi-pro, which is a step below the NBA? How much does it cost?
Well, you're going to start off with $5,000 off the rip.
All right, never mind. All right, so
5,000 is just to get your foot in the door. That's just to get your foot in the door.
In a week, though, so you had that bread just sitting there.
Yeah, I did. Honestly, I was working 3 jobs. I was full-time in college. I was running off 2 hours of sleep. I was constantly saving. I really didn't know what I was saving for, to be honest. I was just putting money back. And then that opportunity just came, and I said, well, God, I know what I was putting that money back for.
Right. So 5,000 just to get your foot in the door. And this is for anybody that's watching that may want to be an owner, you want to get something started. She did it in a week. I don't know what you got saved. So, I mean, hey, go pawn that bass guitar, go pawn that car, go stand on the side of the road and create a GoFundMe. Hey, there's many ways to get money nowadays. So don't
Hey, the FBA is always looking for expansion teams. So if you are interested, you think you got a group of guys that can compete at that level, that want to go overseas, that want to make it into the league, I highly, highly, highly suggest you reach out to Mr. Mark King of the FBA and hey, get the ball rolling, because the longer you wait, that's an opportunity you're missing out on.
And we'll have that information at the end of the video for you guys that if you want to try something like that, the information will be at the end of the video to check it out. So let's go over this. So the FBA has been around for many years, and I do know a few players that played in it. Now that you're an owner and you get a chance to see firsthand and how everything goes, are the rules and the way the game is played in the FBA different from the NBA? Because, nowadays, the NBA is a little soft, to say the least.
Yeah, no. First of all, Florida Basketball Association, there's nothing soft about it. We do have the same rules as the NBA. We do play the same rules. But as far as player-wise goes, we're not in the NBA. We don't have all those cameras on us. So things get a little hectic. I mean, I got ejected out of one of our own games last year. I'm just going to say it. Like everybody knows that.
You got ejected.
I got ejected out of our own game.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby Knight from Indiana, because she's from Indiana. Now she's doing the things that you did. Now you're raising up
Yes,
coaches and owners
yes.
to get it.
That was my Bobby Knight moment.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody has ever seen me so vocal in their life.
No, wait. Bartholomew, for those that don't know who Bobby Knight is, hey, Bar, hey, put that video up real quick with him throwing the chip. Put it up.
Steve Reed, an excellent free throw shooter, will have the honors shooting the technicals.
Looky here. Bobby Knight just threw his chair clear across the free throw lane.
And I think Fred
Unbelievable. He picked up another tee. And now Fred Jaspers is called for athletic director Ralph Floyd.
Fred Jaspers talking to Mr. Floyd down in the corner.
Did y'all, that's who Bobby Knight is. Did y'all see that? The man threw, and not only that, he hits players as well. He used to.
He does.
Yeah.
I've never hit one of my players. Well, okay. I've slapped one upside the head before, but it was all out of love. It was out of love.
Wow. Okay, I hear you.
My players know I love them.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you.
We like this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. So you say that is not soft. So the type of defense that the NBA plays now is almost like matador defense. You can't hand check. You can't put the elbow to the back like you used to kind of steer them. Is it like that?
No, you can do it if you can get away with it.
Yeah.
You gotta be slick.
You gotta be slick.
Slick, and it seems like to me everybody in the FBA is slick.
Yeah.
But
okay.
it's I'll say this: we run a very professional league. We keep it 100 on the court. My guys already know all that extra stuff we don't do. The Lakeland Royals has been known, and you can ask any of the teams that we have ever played against. Everybody will tell you that we are a class act. We're very professional, and we keep our guys in check. So at the end of the day, I understand tempers are going to fly. Elbows might be thrown. There's been countless of times my guys have stepped off the court with blood coming off of them. So, I mean, I understand all of these things, but at the end of the day, they're professional athletes. They need to act like professional athletes if they want to make it to the next level. So that's how I run my ship. I can't speak for anybody else, but I can speak as to that is what the FBA is about, though, is running those kinds of teams.
You say that's how you run your shift?
Ship.
Oh. So a very professional league, good standards for what I've seen. Now, this is what I want to ask you. The age limit for the players. Now, the guys that I've seen on the teams, these are like some business owners and some guys that work at Publix warehouse and different jobs of that nature or whatever like that, you know, and I mean, hey, these are some big guys. Like what?
I don't have an age limit. I have a minimum age, which is 18.
Mm-hmm.
One of my older players, he's in his 40s, but Buddy can still go. Buddy just came back from overseas. He is a beast on the court. Mm-hmm. So I do not put an age limit because I believe, hey, you could be 40, you could be 50 years old, but if you can ball out, come on, let's go. Let's go.
In 2021, I went to go see one of my homeboys play in the semi-pro football league. I kid you not, number 56 was playing center. And I looked at him and I said, bro, I say, man, how old are you? He said, oh, man, I'm 56 years old. Say, what? I said, well, how old did I do all that? Oh, man, he in his 60s. They still got the body. They still out there playing. I mean, but they are, no, they're hitting. When I say they're hitting, they are hitting hard. And you can hear it, like running over each other, like the real old football rules, not this new stuff. And they out there laying the wood. And I'm like, dude, you 60 and 56 years old and you still doing that? And they're like, he had a missing tooth. But it's like, hey, look, if it's still in your blood and you keep your body up, you know, shout out to LeBron, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, he all-time scoring leader, yada yada. But the GOAT, you know what I'm saying, MJ still reigns. But he take care of his body like no other. He spends over $1 million a year. Now I know they didn't have that back in the day, but what they have nowadays, you can take care of your body and still, perform at a high level. Anybody can,
Yeah.
I don't know the stigma, like you're 38, like do my athleticism just ooze out my body or something that I can't jump no more, I can't shoot or what? I never understood that,
Right.
So shout out to all the men that are still playing, for the FBA that's in their 40s and 50s. You still balling. Shout out to you. Yeah. So you became an owner, you got your squad, and something happened to you guys last year that I know you're extremely proud about. So you guys became the champions of the FBA.
Baby.
Got it.
Baby, we got a ring right here, boy. Yes, sir.
Congratulations, the new champs of the FBA.
Thank you.
Man, the score was like what, 105, 107?
It was 107 to 106. We won literally with 0.4 seconds left up on the clock. I was 9 months pregnant at the time. We won. The buzzer went off. Everybody was jumping. I was jumping. I said, "This is my water gonna break." Like everybody was going crazy. Like,
yep. Christian Natane, the rebound. Game over. Lakeland, champions of the FBA in their first season in the conference. It was a nail biter till the end. A 2-point victory for the Lakeland Royals. And the Central Florida Blazers gave it everything they had. What a contest. But fouling with 2 seconds left to go, up by 2, might have changed that one, right? Easily.
That was dope. Congratulations, yo.
thank you.
What would have made that even doper? If you had an announcer like me on the sideline calling the game. But we'll get into that all later. We'll get into that later. But man, how did it feel? First, to know what you went through in high school, to know what you went through by losing your scholarships and not getting a chance to go with the USA team. And now you're owner, and now your team that you've been owning for like maybe what, 2.5, 3 years?
No, 1 year.
1 year. Oh God, 1 year. And in your first year, you the champs. How did it feel, honey? How did it feel?
It felt amazing. Like words can't really describe the feeling because I had so many people. When I was 20, I was turning 21 years old. So I bought the team. I had so many people tell me, "Oh, you're too young. You just turned 21. You need to go ahead and do a mentorship or internship with one of the pro teams.
Yeah, internship, yeah.
See how you get acclimated, learn it really well before you decide to buy a team." And I was like, I almost bought into it. I almost bought into the discouragement. But I said, you know what? No, not gonna do it. So we went forward. Being the only female owner and the first female owner in the Florida Basketball Association.
First.
Number one, baby. Number one. You have to earn your respect. Those guys just aren't going to give it to you because those guys have been in there for a long time. They want their teams to win. That nobody would even think that I knew what I was doing when I picked my coaching staff. I helped pick my players. Nobody knew that I knew what I was doing this whole time. Nobody thought it. And I said, that's okay. My team slogan is no talk, less talk, more action. I don't need to tell you that I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you that I'm going to do it. And that's exactly what I did. You see it?
Yeah, I see it. Okay, I see it. That is so dope. You just said something I want to ask you a question about. Knowing that you are the first woman and you the only woman there, and all these men got their teams, and you beat them your first time around. How did they treat you? What did they say? Was it an embrace or was it?
So the team that we played in the championship game, I would have not want to play any other team. That team, the Florida Blazers, they are family to the Lakeland Royals. The coaching staff, they really, honestly, they were like, they came on board when I came in there. They were one of the first teams that I met. You know, their coaches, Coach Ryan, Coach Andrew, like all of them, they just really embraced our team, really embraced myself and our coaches, and they became family really at the end of the day. And we always joke around and tell everybody that we were the two most hated teams in the FBA. So it couldn't have went down any better because they were also new last year as well. And then to have Coach Barry from the Winter Park Storm, he is dynamic and he played such a crucial role. He was like, I'm so glad you're here. It's so nice to meet you, whatnot. So he really embraced me. And this was before I ever won. And then when we did win, everybody like they're so comedic, like in a good sense. So it's like now they're kind of everybody, I'll say this. Everybody right now has built their teams to beat our team. We have been established as the team to beat.
Okay.
Because nobody could beat us last year except the Blazers. Like the Blazers, we knew when we played them, that was going to be a game, that it was going to be tough. So when it ended up us in them in the championship game, we already knew what was about to go down. And we went back and forth. Nobody won on their home court. We beat them on their home court. They came to our home court. They beat us. Then the final championship game was played at in Winter Park, and it was foreign territory, but it was in a sense, I don't know if it's like just meant to be kind of thing. But that was the same exact gym that I went up to Mr. Marquine and I asked him what it took to be an owner of a team. And I won the championship in that same gym a year later.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So that's what I'm saying. So many God moments, so many God things. And I mean, this team is God driven, honestly, because I've told God multiple times when things have come up, it's not cheap owning a team. Don't think we're running off of daddy's money or something like that. No, we running off my money. Okay, let's get it straight. And so I've had to look at God, and I'm like, God, you gave me this team. Now you need to provide the finances for the team. And no, this is no joke. Literally in the same week that I prayed that prayer, my mama called me and said, hey, you just got a check in the mail. I'm gonna bring it up to you next weekend. I'm like, oh. And we're not talking little $100 checks. No, we're talking $1,000 checks written out from other people, other companies that didn't even talk to me about writing no check. They just send it out.
Send it out. Listen, let me tell you like this, man. Anytime God's give you a vision, the old voice, he always provide provision, honey. He provide. Mm-hmm. That's how God is, yo. So I want to ask you this, because a lot of people, even when I came up, God and sports don't mix. Now we know it's a lot of corruption in everything that's in this world. Politics, sports, the school system, jobs. I mean, heck, everyday life, even marriage. You know what I'm saying? A lot of corrupt. But the Bible says, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will do what? Direct your path. So with that being said, how do you glorify God with a team? Do you guys go to church on Sundays, or do you?
A lot of my guys, there's actually a couple guys on my team that are pastors. So a couple of them, they are pastors. A lot of them, they do go to church. I don't require anybody to come to my church, nothing like that. They have their own houses of worship that they go to around Lakeland or around Orlando, whatnot. Mm-hmm. And that's not to say that everybody on my team is a Christian or does go to church, but that's an opportunity for those of us who are on the team to witness to these people and to witness to the other teams. And that's exactly what we do. Any opportunity that we get, any chance that we get, we take advantage of that, and we do exactly that. And I let them know that, remind yourselves that when you're out there on that court, and I have to remind myself too, that no matter what, you still represent God at the end of the day. You're not just representing the Lakeland Royals. You're not just representing me. You're representing God, who provided this team, who provided everything for the team.
Right. And talking about provision, I'm on the phone here and I'm looking at got breaking news, even though it was yesterday, but it's been a huge conversation about the money that players make. Now, I don't know if you guys get paid in the FBA. I don't know if it's volunteer.
It's up to the owners. I do pay my players, but my players have to work for it. So this is what I mean by work for it. When you go overseas, you have to market yourself to those teams.
Right.
You have to market yourself to the people in that country. So I tell my guys, you're going to learn how to market yourselves. So my guys can make money off of multiple ways. They can sell tickets and get a percentage of the ticket price. They can sell jerseys with their numbers and their names on it. They can get a percentage of that. They can sell merchandise, hoodies, shirts, long sleeve shirts, whatever the case may be, sweatpants. They can get a percentage of that. And that's teaching them to market themselves. And this is what I tell them. If you can't market yourself to your own friends and family, why would I want to send you overseas to market yourself over there when you can't even market the bare minimum? So my guys learn to make themselves a product and sell themselves to be able to get that business knowledge under their belt.
Wow. That is so much needed, because a lot of guys, even when they make it to the league, they don't know how to manage business or even market themselves. Right. Somebody else does it and they find out the money's missing from the account. And this, right. You're losing so much money instead of learning how to do it yourself. So that is great. Look at you.
That's my players, awesome. I'll tell you, I have said that since day one. I say that to the new guys coming in. I say that all the time to my coaches, because we're talking about ways that they can make more money. And I say, why? They can make more money by selling themselves,
right?
Selling their products.
And those who don't know, they make buku money overseas. I mean, some guys been offered NBA contracts and they said no to it because the money that they're making, the guaranteed money that they're making across seas, like real talk. So,
and that's the thing, is we have an on-site agent that we send guys overseas, and we're in the process of buying a team overseas. So
take a sip of my caramel coffee on that.
So yeah, we have the ability to send guys overseas. We're soon going to have the ability to send guys to our own team overseas. So I'd like to consider ourselves a direct connect, but the thing is that our coaches and myself will not send anybody who's not showing us that they truly, honestly want it. Right. We treat our team as if it is an NBA team, because I told my coaches this. That's where I'm headed. I am headed to own my own NBA team. One of these days, it's gonna happen. But it starts here. However you start the roots of what you're doing is how it's gonna continue on. So right. If you have a solid foundation, your roots are buried deep. Then right. As you go on, you're gonna keep building into something that's great, that's sturdy, and ain't nothing can bring it down because your foundation is built.
Nothing can break it down. You know, it's something that's been said for years and years and years. I don't believe in this because God has blessed me to have my own mind. I do not have a mind that is going with the majority or the cliches that's been over the years that, don't tell your dreams to people because people are blessing and dream blockers. I'm like, so you mean to tell me God give me something and I share it with somebody and they have enough power to stop me or to stop God from blessing me like he said, the Almighty God? Wait a minute, that just don't add up right to me. So blessing blockers, somebody can actually speak and bless that God. Dream blockers, dream killers. God said that I can do this. He gave it to me to do it with the finances. I'm gonna let somebody's words stop me from using this money to do what that God, I don't need to serve that God if that's the case. I'm like, where do we get this stuff from? Where do we get it from? You was told that you couldn't, and now you are. Mm-hmm. Amen, somebody. Now you say you want to go to be an NBA, and who's going to say that God isn't and God ain't when he's already proven you that he is? Right. You feel me?
Right. And this
I'm
is
believing
this is
this
what
stuff.
a lot of people have told me, don't tell people what your plans are for the future because they might steal your ideas. Well, this is how I look at it. They steal my idea, okay, that's a setback. But this is how I look at it. Sometimes your setbacks in life are your setups for your come ups. So go ahead and steal my idea. But God didn't bless your idea. God blessed mine. So when
Right,
mine's 10 times bigger than
right,
yours in just a year, don't worry
right,
about me because you
right.
stole my idea.
I'll say this, and we're gonna go into that the setback for the setup. I have a mentoring program called I'm Proud of Me Mentoring, where we help kids stay off the street, help them in school, free tutoring, this and that. I'm gonna start charging now because some of these parents took advantage. But I branched off and got one here in Polk County. We took a year off due to COVID and to get everybody healthy again, get everybody's lives back running. But have one here in Polk County, Florida. Then we went to Manatee County and started over there. Oh, people was helping. Oh, we need this here. We want this here, this, yada, 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 yada. So the squad that I put together tried to undercut me, learn what I do and how I do so they can yank the carpet from up under me after asking me to come bring it over here. Don't you know that God shut every last one of them down?
Mm-hmm.
Every last one of them. COVID, near-death experience. And one thing you don't do is mess with God's people. You just don't do that. God will take up for you. I don't care what you say. People always that sounds kind of harsh. Man, God is a killer as well. God don't play about his children. When you feel like you trying to get over somebody like that, he'll take care of it. So whatever dreams you have, whatever you're trying to do in life, oh yeah, God got you. God got you. So whatever, So the setup for the comeback and the setback for the comeback, whatever you just said, your motto is, you had an alleged setback when you were pregnant, and you say you was 9 months pregnant when y'all won the championship.
Yes.
Now let's go into that. You have a beautiful, beautiful baby boy, 5 months old. The bouncing boy. If y'all can hear him in the background, America, that's who that is in the background. The bouncing baby. You are all of a basketball team. Now you're bouncing the baby. How about that? From bouncing the basketball to bouncing the baby.
Bounce both now.
You bounce both now, right. So when you had your baby, did you feel like you was because I know we come from the church and we know how that is, with pregnancy and before marriage and everything like that, because you're beautiful, you got it going on, you're not on a coach and owner, you're also in the church, you're a praise team leader, you're in the church heavy and this, that, and the other, and the world is watching. Oh, okay, dang, okay, she doing it like that, and then boom. You know what I'm saying? Something like that happened, which is common. You know what I'm saying? That's how we got here, Hey guys, sex gets you here. That's how it happens. So don't cringe when you hear the word sex. Oh, that's just how, but it happened. So you're in the church and you're a leader. So how did that go about from, making you feel a certain type of way of in the scrutiny from the church?
Boy, it wrecked me, honestly. Like emotionally and spiritually, it wrecked me. Not because I didn't want my baby, not because I wasn't ready to be a mom or nothing like that, but because it happened in a way that I didn't want it to happen. I wanted to be married first. I wanted to be established with my husband before we had kids and whatnot. And that's just not how it happened. And it felt like, okay, here I was getting my life started back up again, and boom, now we got another roadblock. Not to say that my baby is a roadblock,
Right.
but there's a lot of things you can't do while you're pregnant. And there's a lot of people who aren't going to take you serious while you're pregnant,
Right.
in the business world. And so I struggled with it because number one, I felt like I had failed God. Um, I felt like God wouldn't want anything to do with me. Um, I felt like my parents weren't gonna love me anymore. I called my mom 7 a.m. in the morning when I found out, boo-hoo crying. I said, Mom, I'm pregnant. And she said, okay. I said, Mom, I don't think you heard me. I'm pregnant. I said, I'm so sorry. I messed up. I'm so sorry. And she said, well, honey, it's okay. Now you got to get ready for this blessing. And like I said, my parents are pastors. So
Right.
to have
Right.
that kind of a response in a moment where I
Yeah.
was feeling like I was going to be so judged, it couldn't have gone any better. And I would say, like, now the only person that I had to deal with was myself. I was
Right.
judging myself so hard for what I had done because I was a youth mentor that was telling these kids not to do what I had done. So I felt so hypocritical. I felt like the biggest clown in the world. Like I was just so disappointed with
Yeah,
myself.
yeah, yeah. I feel you
And
on that.
it took months. Like my son is 5 years old now, and I can say that I'm now at a point where I walk up to church with my baby, like by myself. Like that's cool. That's cool. Like that's fine.
Hey, Mother Gripper from 1962 got 7 of them, and she ain't got no husband. And all of them leading songs in the choir and everything else. You know what I'm saying? The whole youth team is between 3 people. The whole got 17 kids in there between 3 people. Yeah, man, come on now.
Exactly.
But see, that's the
I
thing.
just felt, and this is the thing is like I didn't go back to my dad's church. I went to a church nobody knew me yet, so that way I didn't have to worry about nothing. And my dad, my parents are in Melbourne, and my dad was like, "I want you to come for Father's Day," and I was like, "I don't know about that. I just don't know about that." I said, "I'm at the point where I'm showing now, Dad. I just don't think I should." I said, "People are gonna look at me, people are gonna judge me." I said, and honestly, I'm judging myself so hard that I'm not ready for that. And so I was like, Dad, I'm just not, I just don't know. So what I didn't know is that my dad was just like, come, it'll be okay. My dad cut off his live stream at the end of a church service. And he said, don't nobody go nowhere. And he looked at everybody, said, Amy's pregnant. She's coming to church next Sunday. She goes, and none of you better say not a word to her that's not uplifting, that's not encouraging. If you all even say one judgmental thing, he said, you're going to be seeing me. And I said, that's right. Go, Daddy. So I showed up and it was such a loving experience. Everybody was just loving on me, saying they were so happy for me and things like that. And to experience that, like it was nice. But what it really showed me is that sometimes when you feel like things are going to go one way, our Father our Father steps in on our behalf, whether we know it or not, and intervenes to
Right.
protect us from things. So
We all have messed up. We all have done things against God. You know what I'm saying? Whether we know it or not, we all have. And his grace and mercy is there. We learn from it. And it's like, dude, don't you know, it's, man, look, like I said, it's a lot of bishops, church mothers from the 60s, 50s, 70s, you name it, that had the same ordeals. And when you see them, okay, they're better now. They act like they never did anything back in the day. Instead of helping me become better now, you beat the crap out of me because I messed up. Like, man, are you crazy? God don't even do that.
Right.
Like all that grace and mercy he talks about it and the forgiveness. And, you know, I mean, I didn't even know this because I came up in a strict, you know what I'm saying? Strict, you know, strict. You're going to strict. You know, it's like, wait, I know, but if it's a way that I can, you know, not go steal after I messed up, can you tell me that part, please? Right. But, you know, he said, one of them asked him in the Bible, say, God, who do you forgive the most? God replied, Jesus replied, you know, the one that sins the most. They were, how often should I forgive? The cat said, if your brother falls 77 times 7 in a day, I was like, ooh, I can mess up that many times. You better not say nothing. It's like, no, that ain't what I'm saying. If you happen to fall that many times a day, they got to forgive you that many times. So it's like, dude, how come I ain't really know nothing about this? I just heard you. Look, it was like, dang, okay. Dude, well, dang, I bet I can't get none. I'm going to hell. Say, well, you know, I'm going to take that risk anyway, because boy, I had to go get me a little peach, you know what I'm saying? But you know, God is a redeemer, he's a restorer, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, hey, you know, we all mess up, we all got to come back around. And look how it turned out for you, you know what I'm saying? Now you're using your testimony to help others. Hey, I failed. Yes, I was mentoring y'all, but look how I bounced back.
Right.
Sometimes we take falls to show others how to get back up and bounce back. The rebound. Ooh, I felt that. You can take that and preach on that. The rebound.
Hold on real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, since you just got a word called the rebound for out of your testimony. So, last thing I want to ask you, bring this up. Since LeBron did become the all-time leading scorer, the GOAT debate has been around for quite some time, and somebody has been the head GOAT in charge for years and years and years and years to come. Who is your GOAT and why?
Me. I'm the GOAT.
Here we go.
No, I'm just like this is gonna sound really weird coming from a basketball player, but I would say that I really honestly didn't really look up to anybody as far as their playing style, or I thought they were like the best of the best. But the person that I really focused on was Kobe. I focused on his work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really inspired me. Was he put in so many countless hours of working out to be the best he could be. And that's what inspired me, was seeing his work ethic and how hard he would go. And then of course you have Bobby Knight. And just seeing how he was a coach, and how he coached his players, and how he was so hard on them, but for such a good reason. And
Right.
so taking a little bit of this and taking a little bit of that and putting it together, that's what really in my definition would make a GOAT. So if I'm gonna pair somebody as a GOAT, I'm gonna pair Kobe and I'm gonna pair Bobby Knight.
So that's good. That was a good breakdown. So where that work ethic and what who you looked up to get him there, right?
Jordan.
You know who Bobby
I actually
Knight...
have Jordan's MVP ball that he autographed.
Really? You know what? All right, man, have it please. Okay, yeah, thank you.
He had a I guess he either had a house in Melbourne or like was in Melbourne or whatnot, and my dad met him and he autographed his MVP ball and he gave it to me.
All right, that's great. That's great. I don't know why God loved you more than he loved me. That is so not cool.
No.
Oh, yes.
I was just in the right place at the right time to receive my blessings. So I guess what you need to look at is, are you in the right place at the right time?
Well, you know what? Somebody wanted to make a cameo. This dude has been so clingy. He lost his father a couple weeks ago. We lost our head of the household, and it was very tough. So he's been very clingy. So guys, my dog wanted to make an appearance and come get some love. Okay, all right, go home, but I'm trying to finish up here. All right, thank you. He's a big NBA fan too. We watched the games together. But yeah, so okay. All right. So Amy, I really thank you for coming on here. Your life in itself, with everything that you had to transpire in your life to where you're at now, to have injuries to take away your scholarships and everything, to becoming I almost spoke it. It's gonna happen. I feel it in my. It's gonna happen. You receive it now.
Tampa, here we come, baby. Tampa, here we come.
That's where you wanted to be, Tampa.
Think about it. Tampa has football. Tampa has baseball. Tampa has hockey. You know what Tampa doesn't have? An NBA team owned by a woman.
Owned by a woman. All right. And before we go, how old are you, Amy? I want people to hear this. How old are you?
I am 22.
Years old, and the girl owns the FBA semi-pro basketball team. Don't tell me you can't Don't tell me age can limit you from anything. It can't, and it won't. It's what we were told. So my young people, my middle-aged people, my older people that watch this show, listen, dreams are to be visions while you sleep and to be manifested while you're awake. Don't let nobody stop you. Because sometimes we can live a dream while awake. And with that being said, thank you for coming on Unmuted. I really appreciate you. I would make the announcement, but I want to say that for something else. So all you all that want to hit her up, where can they find you?
If you want to follow the team's page on Instagram, it's Lakeland.Royals. You can follow us there. If you want to follow me individually, mine is official.Amy Rhodes. And then my coaches, their Instagram tags are also on our Instagram homepage, which again is Lakeland.Royals. You can follow Circles of Kings, which is our head coach, David Thornton. And then Darius Howard, he changes his name, so I don't know what his Instagram name is right now, but he's on there too. And you can follow us there. You can look us up online at www.lakelandroyals.org, or you can find us on Facebook at Lakeland Royals.
All right, now I heard what you just said. If you got game, you think you got game, you got a partner that got game, you got a student that didn't do so well in high school so far as grades and they can't play. They 18 and they want to have something to do to boost their spirits. Get them. Amy Rhodes, y'all. Semi-pro. Really appreciate you. Thank you for being a pillar in the community. We needed you. So, hey, we're going to sign off. This has been your boy Simp 7. Like, comment, and share this content, y'all. Please. We're doing so well. We are now up to 314 subscribers. Hard work been putting in, baby. We're now to 314. Now to 314. We're not getting in the algorithm. So please don't call my cell phone and say good show. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. So that way, YouTube will see that, hey, y'all liking what we do. Even if it's negative, put it in there. I'm going to fire back at you. I'm going to fire back at you, but put it in there. All right. Now, this is your boy Simp 7 signing off. Amy Rhodes, thank you once again. This has been another episode of Unmuted. I'll see you guys next week. Peace. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Simp 7, man. Thank you for watching this interview. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and commenting on this channel. I really appreciate it. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please click that button right down there. Don't wait till your homeboy blow up. You wait. Go ahead and participate and become part of the Unmuted family. We greatly appreciate it. We work very hard to bring you good content and stories that you probably never heard of before, and a little something to make you think about the Lord a little bit and laugh a little bit. All right, guys. Like, click, share, comment. Don't text me. Put it right there in the comments. Simp 7 out.